agenda?
It's 7:15. We're going to call to order the Port of Sileslaw Commission meeting. We have just come out of an executive session meeting, and we're going to take action on our discussion in executive session, in open session.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we enter into negotiations with a contract for Dave Huntington for port manager at a salary of $65,000 per year. That's the form of the motion.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Seconded.
Craig Zalesi seconds the motion. Any discussion before a vote? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 The motion passes unanimously. Congratulations.
Congratulations,
Thank you,
Dave.
guys. Thank you.
Thank you. No way we can thank you. We've done a call to order. Now we're going to open up this session for public comment.
Is that my turn?
Not yet.
Yeah,
Oh,
Nope.
uh-oh, no.
Not
it's
yet.
not?
Kelly
Not yet.
says no way.
You're on the agenda, so.
You're on the
Okay,
agenda.
you're important.
Oh, no, all contributors are important, Terry.
She's on the agenda though. She's really important.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
she's gonna wait for a
Okay.
couple things.
So, what we have here is approval of the agenda. Any concerns? None heard. Approval of minutes by consent. Any
So
concern?
approved.
Any concern with the minutes from 10/17 or 11/1? Hearing none, we'll move on to approval of the financials with the presentation by Kelly.
Okay, so as you can see on the agenda, it says bills paid for October were $101,304.03, which is a lot higher than normal. But we also had our quarterly bill for $11,599 to Business Oregon. We also purchased a lot of gas for the boating season, which normally we don't. So that also threw that up there a ways. $7,000 for a motor. There's just some things that actually came through this month above and beyond what normal months are. So that's why it looks so high.
The campground is up 2% and the mortgage is down.
Yeah, the campground was up 2% for the year to date, and then the mortgage was down 4% year to date.
That was the Frank leaving thing.
We can get him back.
Sorry about that.
So, that's all I have for the financials.
Okay, any questions for Kelly? Craig?
No, I'm good.
You good?
Good.
No? Okay. Next on the agenda is Amber Novelli's inquiry for expansion.
Yes. So, am I supposed to stand up there?
You can come right here in this chair, just come up here.
Okay. So, since I won the Chowder Festival at the end of my second season, my business has whoosh, gone crazy this last year. And so then I won it again this year, and I had another 850 customers find out about me this year. So now I'm going to be big. I'm going to try to stay open year round as I'm growing. But I was wanting to add on to the side to have a dock on the outside. We have those, I could do it either two ways. You guys have those extra things that are the cement walkways in front of the shop that the docks are built out of, that I can purchase from you guys, the extra ones that you have, or we could build our own, depending on what size you guys would allow me to do.
Where'd the shop?
It's just the
Floating
crab
crab
shack.
shack.
Oh, the
Yeah,
crab
dock
shack,
down there.
okay.
She drew a little diagram right here. It's
My little silly diagram I did
under
real quick.
tab 6,
So,
get down that
we
far. I
would be,
didn't- right
my husband as a carpenter, he'll do the a rail around it, and I'll make it look really nice, and it will be definitely an upgrade to it. And I think that it will really bring me a lot of business. I'm going to be adding on fish and chips onto my menu this year, and you guys approved me to have my beer and wine license. I just fixed my insurance for that, so I need to send you guys a copy of my insurance, and I'll get that going.
Your fish and chips will, fish and fries, I mean, you're talking about?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
excellent.
Fish and chips and chowder. and then whatever Kyle brings me to sell. So I have some little things I want to do out there. Just put some extra seating, maybe a little, bar stools out there with little tables, and it's just going to be really nice. And I really need to upgrade it. It looks so run down after a while, and I'd love to be able to access it more. So this is my first set of plans, is to be able to at least, I was thinking six of those cement blocks that are out there, the cement floats, or possibly, I know that we have an issue with dredging that we're gonna have to be doing here, so I don't know when that would be done, but the side that I wanna put it on doesn't have an issue with the low water.
I was gonna ask that.
The low water is on the west side.
So,
Oh, so these are going on the east side.
Yes,
east side, but still inside.
yes,
Okay.
still in the dead zone,
Okay, all right.
yeah.
Well,
I don't know, you go right now with minus 1.6 tide and see, it's gotta be out of water.
It's out of the water on my one side, on
Yeah.
the one side in the corner, I'm totally out of the water, to where I was actually need to start belting down my refrigerators or they're gonna fall over. It's really bad. It actually ripped the walls off of my floor.
We're,
Where's our cement docks
I'm
from the
still
storage?
working on getting that all together.
Yeah,
we have them back here, I think.
yeah, they're back there floating, and so I don't know
Oh.
if you guys are gonna be having a public auction or something that would be coming up for that, or if I could just, find out what you guys want for them, and then I could do that. I really wanna upgrade it, I really wanna make it better, and I think, no matter which way we're going, if we're going with sport boats or commercial boats, no matter what we do, my shop will fit in perfectly. And it's really bringing a lot of people down there that never even knew that they could walk on the dock. And it's been a lot of fun.
Now we're gonna gate it and shut it down.
Yeah,
Huh? Yeah, fun.
Not during the
Obviously-
day now.
I know, at nighttime. But
Which will help you.
yeah, no, actually, that's fine with me because the safety of, having it locked would be nice, so.
What do you pay for, do you pay like a mortgage?
The mortgage is $1,200 a year, and so I know that it would probably end up going up more per foot, which I'm willing to do that too. So, I just have to expand.
so you're gonna be able to get permit to put a deep fat fryer down there?
Yes, I already talked to the ag department, the fire department, and the building
Really?
department, and
Cause if
everyone's,
that oil gets in that water, man, it's gone.
yeah, well,
Don't use vegetable oil?
yeah, it,
It still goes on fire.
well,
Oh.
it's a metal building though. I mean, there's really there's
But the hood
nothing
and
that can
everything,
start
they
on
approved
fire.
all that, huh?
Yes, I've been approved for everything. So, yeah,
Wow.
before I start looking into anything, I go around and check out all the permits and licensings I need before
We
I
don't do
start
that.
dreaming. Yeah, you don't do that? Just do it and then
You
ask?
do it and ask the question.
Well, I always get nervous and so the reason that I wanted to come to ask you guys before my head starts spinning with all my plans, I wanted to make sure that it was even possible to do and that you guys would be okay with it.
So would you laminate over those cement floats or?
Well, we'll make them look at it. We'll power wash them, see how they come out. Then we'll fix the wood on them, see exactly what we need to do to make them sturdy. We have our friend Cody Chase up in Newport who built that one dock that he has his little fish cutting area over at Port Dock 7.
Okay.
And so if worse comes to worse, we could do something like that with the barrels or whatever. Or we could at least use those as a platform to make a wood deck or something, but I just kind of wanted to start with the floats,
And again, what are you gonna locate there? You're gonna do this little seating area? or-
Yes, I'm gonna add some tables and I want to do the kind that are mounted, so there's not gonna be any chance of, slipping and sliding, especially when the wakes go
Oops, my
by.
cable just flew into the water.
Exactly.
Well, yeah,
So,
that east
you-
side is a good place to put it because your prevailing winds during the sunny
Yeah,
spring and early summer is gonna come right off the ocean, so that your building is gonna give you some protection.
yeah, definitely.
Okay.
And I think it will look really nice. I was actually thinking if I don't know if you guys would have anything against this, is like, for this time of the year, I wanted to get one of those, like, those fire pits, but the kind that's like the little, it's like a table with rocks in the middle with little fire coming out for a little heating thing with a table around it, so people could sit around a fire and eat.
We already have it down there, you can't have
Yeah, the
fire on the,
ordinance.
No
is
fire
no-
on the
no
dock.
open
Can't do
flame
that.
on the dock.
How about those heaters?
I don't know.
As long as
We
it's,
cannot have
it's
fires
not-
on the dock.
as long as it's not open flame, it's,
Okay,
So an infrared. would
so like
probably-
radiant heat
Yeah,
or
you can't
something
have
like
open
that?
flame, I know that for a fact.
Okay, well, see, that's why I
Nice
need to
thought,
ask, cause, see, I knew there was some kind of rule I had to ask about.
Okay, and then another thing, you wanna add fillet stations to your
Well,
place?
What I was thinking about is, another
do?
part of it is I have like a fillet table. And so when my husband pulls in on the boat, I have a spot to sit there and be able to fillet. Now,
Doesn't he fillet on the boat?
we do, but it's very uncomfortable, so, I don't have to, I,
Well, it's comfortable fillet.
oh, well, I have a
Hey,
different,
excuse me, she's a commercial fisherman, and nothing
now that is on that other side, and that's just
Right.
optional, and I don't think we could do that we can't do that other side until after the dredging. I can't touch the other side
The
till
only
after
thing
the
I have a problem
dredge.
with fillet tables and everything, if you're doing it on a boat, you're throwing it overboard and the seals are starting to get all over the place.
Yeah.
Cause they're all over the place down there anyhow.
Well, you know what's nice
you
is we
can't-
don't have any.
You can't throw,
We're not
I
allowed
realize
to.
you can, but,
No, ask the garbage, that's a whole nother.
and then you're gonna have to haul all that garbage up someplace.
We
It's sure a
do.
lot of
We
fun
already
feeding
do
those
that.
seals though with the kids.
But, you know, that's the nice
It
thing
is.
is we
I
don't
don't.
have sea lions down
Yes.
there.
Oh, yeah.
We only have harbor
Yeah,
seals.
we had some
have two-
lions, we had some
Yeah.
lions up here last winter.
Thank God they haven't come down to the shop part though. They
Yeah.
don't come in that little opening.
We just had to kill one right down here,
Oh, nice, good.
didn't we, Dave? They had to have Noah come and get it.
Nothing wrong with that.
it was sick.
It was sick, I stepped over it, man, it was ugly.
There's about a million of them out there they can
Yeah.
start in on.
Yeah.
Well, that part's now the fillet station is.
Okay,
but
well, no,
that-
I just
that's
reading what
just-
you're saying on your
yeah.
thing here.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of ways to expand and to be able to do things, cause I was out, you know, that's not the crucial part. The crucial part is having the deck outside to have this extra seating.
And we do not, you're not using the walkway.
No,
Yeah, it's a,
yes, and I want to, actually, I'll cut a door on the one side to even go out onto that, so, I mean, it'll be totally fenced in, totally safe, totally sturdy, and, beautiful. It's gonna be really nice.
So how many square feet?
I'm not sure what those, I did like a soft measure on the, cement planks, I think they're 7 by 10, something like that,
Each one of them is?
yes.
there's different sizes.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
but the ones in front of the shop are like 7 by 10, so I was thinking, 21 feet by 30 feet.
Will they stay floating, Dave, down
So
there?
about,
I'm not sure the ones that she's talking about are the ones that are in the water
Yeah, I
already.
saw them way over there, I
They
don't
could be
know.
2 foot thick,
The old age.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
they're,
are they available, Dave?
3 foot.
they've got about 4 foot. long.
I don't think we've made them public surplus.
Well, I mean.
I don't know if we're even using them,
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
just
well,
floating in the
well,
middle of the
there
river
are
over there.
alternatives. We could lease them to her on a square foot basis at a very
Yeah.
reasonable rate. That's
$400 a
420.
square foot.
Well,
Hush your mouth.
Hey, this guy.
Just a
We
minute, let
just
me
gave
do-
up a bunch.
Let me do a calculation.
Yeah,
Well,
well, I don't even know if they might be too deep when you even get on low water. They're what,
See
3
what
foot
I'm
thick, aren't
thinking.
they?
my opinion
I'm
is,
not
Cents a
sure.
square foot.
Well, that's
$42
just,
a
that's
month for
just
6
an
of them.
option, and I
Oh,
mean,
okay,
that-
I understand, because you don't have much water on that one side at all.
well, I'm not going on that
that
side,
way we
it's that
lease it, we
side.
don't lease it
And-
for.
This is kind of,
And-
it's backwards, so this is.
Yeah, she's gonna go on the east side.
Yeah, this is the east side.
Yeah.
That would work too.
And the-
It's my opinion that if you have this many square foot that you're leasing now, and you want this many more square foot, there's simple mathematical formula to tell you what your new lease will be. You're
Okay.
paying $1,200 for this, and you're going a third again bigger, that's $400 more a year,
Okay,
or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Does that work?
Works. That works for me.
I'm not sure though about we aren't gonna, we aren't gonna sell her the docks.
Well, my thought on the docks.
And I like that, so
Yeah.
continue with your thought.
Well, anytime we actually sell property, we have to first declare it surplus and
Yes.
advertise it widely. An alternative would be that we would lease those to you at a reasonable rate, let's say a nickel a square foot or 10 cents a square foot, which would amount to $43 a month for
Okay.
the group of them. And that way, we retain ownership, we don't have to declare it surplus. You
Make
get
it
your,
easy.
you get your docks. And at some point in the future, when things change, if we need to take them back, we can. But would something like that sound fair? Because that would work for me.
What happens if they deteriorate?
Well,
We
she
gotta
does,
take care of them.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll make him work on them.
Yeah.
But then now, like I said,
The
those,
lease is
There's a lot of that goes
the
on.
lease is as is, but
Amber's lease is a year-to-year lease at this point, and it will be up January 1st, I believe. We're gonna have
Yeah.
to go back into negotiations on
You-
another lease.
so.
Do you feel there's gonna be any other negotiations? There's gonna be just a carryover
That's-
lease?
It's, you know, I.
you better not kick me out, I'm
I
doing
can-
really good.
No, I mean,
Oh,
or
no.
just financially.
Does that lease come before the board to discuss? Or is it?
We have been in past discussing leases in front of the board. so-
Okay. So, my question, Dave, is, I have no knowledge of those docks she's talking
Mhm.
about and whether or not they're.
I'm not, I know now what she's talking about out there. It's our old F dock
Okay.
that we've got taken down because of the dredging problem. We don't have enough water for them at this point.
So
Well,
they're
sure,
usable?
Yeah, they're floating. They've been floating for a while
Okay,
out there.
well, my thought is that on the renegotiation of the lease, you also bundle in leasing those docks to her at a reasonable rate.
And those are, like I said, those are also, you know, just an option to where if you guys didn't want me to have them, we could build our own. But I mean, while they're sitting there, it'd be nice, you guys could make a little money off of them and I could use
How are you
them.
gonna pick them up and put them on your side of the?
I've seen this guy on that little thing with two little paddles.
Well,
Just a
we-
little paddle.
We could they could probably come where the boat ramp is, go behind her dock.
underneath the ramp.
Underneath the oak
Where
Oh,
the
store.
yeah,
kayaks
at
come
certain
in.
times, there's
Yeah, you'll get
reasonable headroom.
You could get them in there.
Yeah.
I think we need to just authorize the manager to negotiate a lease with her, and I'm in support of it.
And including a lease, a reasonable lease for the floats.
Is that,
Okay.
that all right with you, Craig?
And it'd be, as is, they would be responsible for making improvements and maintaining and so forth.
Right, and she's
that
responsible,
sound
if they don't float, it's her problem.
Says he has to build it. It's like, is this
Well,
okay?
Well, yeah, they're
Enter
responsible.
in the lease agreement.
Yeah.
They're responsible for moving them, getting them there,
Right.
As is.
but I think
Dave, does that work, does that?
That worked for me.
that's kind of a manager's decision anyway, so.
I know previous leases have been brought before the board, but.
Well, you
I
can
think-
work out a lease and bring it here.
Okay.
Does that help you, Amber?
Sounds good. So I can continue on with my dream, huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
We like dreams.
Well, thank you very much.
Except for the fillet station.
You're gonna have to buy another commercial boat now, because you have all that customers, so you better have
Oh,
3 commercial boats.
yeah, right. We're gonna try to sell the midnight hopefully, and then we can focus on the, we'll have to talk to you off the record. I'm talking about, pulling down the summer crab down to here with the Aquarius and stuff, cause we don't crab off the midnight. And hand shoveling that, ice on the midnights, that's fun. So,
I bet.
yeah, so we're gonna see. I think, you know, coming down here in Florence has kind of changed the whole thing with the fishing in my mind is, making it easy. Like I see the little boats going in and out all the time and you can go out and catch a couple fish, come back in. So we could do that on our crab boat where we could go out, catch a couple fish, come back in and not have to have that much ice. You know, so trying to make our life easy to where we don't have to go into Newport would be awesome.
How many pounds of ice you need?
How many pounds of ice do we put in the midnight?
Gee,
3 tons? Yeah, about 3 tons.
Well, they just got rid of that one around here, so. It's about the only place, cause you couldn't put a portable one and get 3 ton a day.
No. And so then, if we do the Aquarius here, it would be nice, because then we could do our summer crabbing outside of Florence, and then just pull them in and bring them in and unload them into the live tank in the shop, so. Yeah, we're looking at redoing things a little bit, because the shop has really taken on a life of its own.
Oh, you're into retail. If you're gonna be in retail, you wanna be here. If you're gonna be in commercial, you wanna be there.
Exactly.
You know, that's the best place for commercial fish, but here's the best place for your retail possibilities.
Right. And the shop has just taken on a whole life of its own. And we started out with, selling fish and whatever else, and now it's more of just a chowder house and a crab shop. People love the crab and they love the chowder, and so,
And what they want.
yeah, so gotta keep them happy.
You need to get that boat out there and go down south and get some lanes.
Yeah, for the fish and chips.
Good luck, and I can't believe they're gonna let you put a deep fat fryer on the dock.
Yeah. Yep, I asked everyone. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yep.
And
you.
I'm glad to see some enthusiasm
Yep.
down
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
really excited. I think it's just gonna get better and better.
Craig Z, do you have any questions for Amber?
He said, thanks.
No, I think that's wonderful. It sounds like a good project.
Good.
Thank you, Craig.
You're welcome, hon. Let me know when you want to sell that ice machine.
Oh, I know. Hell, it's broken. I'm getting a new one.
Oh, okay. All
Have a
right.
good Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy
Amber
Thanksgiving,
Coffin.
guys.
Oh, we're all alone. All the reporters here in the camera. Darn. Andy Johnson's a no-show?
Yeah, Andy Johnson, he had to travel for the holidays. His
Sure.
schedule kind of changed a
Yeah.
little bit. So you can, he has
Getting pretty
modified
good
the
at that.
his marketing material, and he made a few suggestions or recommendations about reducing the price and then possibly, making it into smaller 2-acre parcels, but.
Yeah, we need to kick that around.
Well, the only thing I have to say about that, and I read the whole thing, when Kelly sent it out to us, is he didn't quite understand that we still want to sell the piece of property as a subdividable piece. We
Yeah.
don't want to divide it.
Yeah, we want that to be the carrot to
Yeah,
encourage
yeah.
somebody to buy the whole thing, and then they can start parceling
We
it
don't
out.
want to sell it in
Yeah.
2-acre parcels like he's saying here.
Yeah.
And he didn't put in there that it is shovel ready, and that shovel ready was a heck of a
Yeah.
hell of a deal.
Yeah.
So I think we
No,
need to
you-
talk
you-
to Andy.
You and
we-
I were
we-
on the same
we can-
page.
We can probably set up for him to be at our next meeting.
Sure.
It just
Yeah,
happened to
because
be-
I mean, what I was reading here, he was thinking, I mean, if you sell it at 2-acre parcels, from the end of the road to the next one, you gotta sell them as they go
Yeah.
in. And the guy on the right, he's gonna have to develop everything, curb, gutter, sidewalk on both sides of the street to sell a piece on the left. No, we're marketing that as a subdividable piece of property.
Yeah.
And it's up to him to subdivide it, whoever buys it.
Yeah, and again, the concept that we came away with is you don't have to develop the whole parcel at one time. You can
Right.
develop it a section at a time, and we want to use that to encourage somebody to buy the
Encourage
whole
something,
parcel.
we don't wanna do the subdividing.
No.
We're not into it.
I agree.
You agree?
I agree.
I'm not so sure, but I can go there.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look and see,
That's right. He did talk about dividing it up.
yeah, I
No,
think
yeah, I brought it up at one time too, but I mean, it's just,
you aren't
Well-
gonna sell anything until
well,
you
let-
divide it.
Yeah, let's talk with Andy again. But I appreciate his report, and I understood what
We'll
he was
try and
getting.
get him at the December meeting.
and then he lowered the price to $5.95, which I don't know if that's good, bad, or indifferent. Mike was the one that he wanted to know, and I don't think we could ever find out what exactly we have into
That
it.
commercial property is not selling. I know that, remember we talked about, the city has one. I didn't realize they had a parcel that's been for sale for 15 years.
Well, he's saying in this whole thing that one just fell through too, so I don't know.
Yeah,
Church-owned, multi-family zone property
Yeah.
at 35th and Oak, and, flyer attached, and it's sold for this and that, but, no, that's fine. So,
Okay, moving on. Let's go to the banking proposals.
Underneath your books, I put the proposals from each one of the banks. We have 5 proposals. There's also behind tab number 8 is I tried to get together kind of a comparison going off of the RFP, what we asked them to do as far as how to structure their proposals. And so did a comparison for each of the banks on each of the different subjects that, you know, we required on the RFP. So that evaluation, actually, I ran out of time, it's about 90%. But you can also look at each proposal individually, but we're not deciding tonight. We're not deciding until December meeting on choosing a bank.
This
We-
banking services is for our general banking, it's not for refinance or anything, it's
No,
just our general
this is
bank.
just our banking.
The refine is Banner, correct?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
Who do we use now? We use Banner.
Banner. And I don't know if you guys want to have each one of these banks come in and propose this to us, or just break it down to, do you wanna have any kind of proposal from?
Well, the thing, I think, what I was talking when I was in here signing checks to Kelly, is the deal is the percent that they're charging on the credit cards.
That's
We'll-
coming up
We'll
next.
talk about
Oh,
that.
okay. I'm ahead of myself.
That's coming up next.
Don't get ahead of yourself, Craig.
I'm always ahead of myself.
That's what they say.
Okay?
So it's just something for you guys to look over. You can kind of look at the evaluation, see how they compare,
Yeah,
what's
I need to
different.
digest it, yeah.
Yeah,
There's a lot here to digest.
Yeah.
there is, because there's 5 of them this time. I think there was only 2 last time or something. But-
Well, correct me if I'm wrong here, but it sounds like everybody met everything, except you put partial on one of them.
Or OPB. Yeah.
Which is no big deal. I mean, they would take a line from the RFP, they'd answer that question. They'd take another line from the RFP, they'd answer that question. And one of them, it was probably out of order. I had Joyce help me with the evaluation, so I can't tell you exactly why it was just partial, but it could have been out of order. It's no big deal.
Okay. So basically, they've all met the requirements.
They
of the
pretty much all met.
Pretty proposal.
In going from, so the December meeting is when we need to decide which bank, so you kind of, you know, need to digest it and kind of decide what you want to do. I think we've been with Banner for 13 years. I don't remember exactly.
15,
We've been with Banner that long?
long time.
And who were they before that?
Sayusla Valley, well, it was Sayusla Valley, so.
That wasn't that long ago, they changed though.
Right,
Okay, so we don't have to make any decisions on this today.
no. At the December meeting, and then the January 1st is when they start. But then going down into number 9, the merchant service fees. So when I got the proposals back, I had seen something regarding the merchant service fees where every month we have fees. So if you look at behind tab number 9,
Okay.
I have listed fiscal year 16, 17, 17, 18, and then to date, each month, how much money we pay just for accepting credit cards. Okay? And that's how much we pay, and I've got the average down there. Washington Federal was the only one actually that in their proposal said, we have a program where you can actually pass the fee to your customer and save you 17, 15, 2,000 a month. That's every month. So you can, it used to be illegal. There's still 5 states that is illegal, but it's not in Oregon anymore. And there's more and more businesses that are actually going to passing off those charges to their customers. Now you can't make a profit if you pass those charges to your customers. So like with Washington Federal, it's 2.59. So if the customer comes in and they're paying $100 campground site, it would be $102.59.
Does that vary according to the type of card
Oh,
they
yeah.
have? Because some cards,
Yeah, okay, so there's, now if you look, if you go to, okay, I just put in there a copy of what you guys see is from the bank statement, but if you go back a little further, you'll see where it says merchant statement.
okay, let me see if that, okay.
Okay, merchant statement, and then if you turn the page and go to page 3 of 4,
Page 3 of 4, okay, October at the top there.
yep, and it says card charges. Okay, every single one of those lines is what we are being charged
By different credit cards.
by different credit cards. There's a government credit card, there's a, you know, a prepaid government card, there's a CPS retail debit,
Right here. This is what.
All those charges.
All these different cards are what's charging us.
yeah. And then if you turn the page over, it continues. And so-
$941.
And so depending on the type of card and how much it returns to the customer, the reward cards, we get the tab for the reward
There you go.
in essence.
In essence. So anyway,
Nothing's free, Craig.
Well, it used to be.
so this is what we have to pay in order to let our customers use their cards.
Card.
And so now more and more companies are going to, well, they pass on the charges to their customer. But there's certain regulations on it, you know, you've got to disclose it up front, and it has to be noticed and posted and type of thing. But you can see how much we'd be saving each month depending on how busy our season is with the average that I've got on here. And then I was kind of curious if there were any other banks that gave us a proposal that they had this program that we can pass on the merchant fees instead of us.
I think if you talk to Banner Bank, they would have that program too.
Nope.
They do not.
I talked to all of the banks, and every bank has a program that we could do that. But I talked to Banner Bank, and I talked to the Merchant Services, Mark Graham, and he says as of right now, they do not have that implemented. They're hoping to within the first quarter of
Okay,
2019.
what they don't have implemented is where we pay the rewards, basically. In other words, where we can charge the 2%.
They don't have this program or the
Program
system
where we charge.
where we charge the customer.
Right. No, my point was, is if you talk to Banner Bank, that percent is negotiable with them.
I think it all depends on the bank.
It does.
I think it does.
You can go into Banner Bank though, instead of paying 1.9 or 2.5, you can negotiate that down on your volume of business to say 0.9.
Oh, you're talking about what we pay to Banner Bank?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have complained to Mark Graham before that our fees are so high, especially when we're talking $2,500 a month compared to 17. And he's worked with me a little bit at certain points here and there. He has worked with me on that and been real good about it. Basically, he said right now we're pretty much on the bottom end, and I don't think we can go any further. But I'm talking about all 4 banks I talked to offer that where you can pass it to the customer. Banner Bank is the only one that does not have that where you can pass it to the
Yeah,
customer.
I understood that.
So just something for you to think about.
Well, I applaud you looking into it.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of money that we're spending.
So we would have a
That's a lot.
statement on our site, and we would have a statement when somebody's checking in, there would be a disclosure. We wouldn't,
If that bank was charging us 2.5%, you see a lot of it, your bank card is charged 3% if you use a bank card. Debit card is 0, and cash is 0. That's all you do.
Well, what I'm looking at here is some of these cards are even more.
yeah,
depending on
right.
what
depending
card
on the type of
they're-
reward
a lot
card it
more.
is.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's why you're reading that. I mean, but that $387 one is what was it? I'm running across the line with a 23. How much was that card? Or is that what we
Well,
paid?
I
that's
think that's-
several.
Is that the government credit card
Yeah.
that you're looking at?
See, we pay that.
Yes.
Yeah, we pay every single one of these.
But
fees
we
listed
wanna,
on here.
we wanna put that back on the,
Right, but like Kelly's saying, no matter what bank, right now Banner does not have that, these other banks do, and whatever they say it's gonna be is at 2.59, 3.78, 1.82. That's all we can charge
That's
them.
right, you
Yeah.
cannot make a profit
Profit.
off of charging
yeah.
the customer for
Right.
the fees.
So what happens if we charge? How do we know each card? When they give us a card, how do we
when
know?
they swipe it, it
Because
automatically.
it goes through our bank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and the bank,
Through the
when
bank.
it swipes and it automatic, we don't compute it, they compute
Right.
it.
They compute it.
Got it. Okay, that was my So I
the
just-
bank computes all that, and I mean, then they worry about that.
And they
you
keep
know.
their, they keep their
Their,
portion.
their receipts and everything go someplace else.
Okay, help me with my confusion here.
Billy,
If
do
you're,
they charge us to use their equipment? Is there any kind of lease charge for the equipment?
Okay, so a couple of them said that, we'll get those, the Verifone machines.
Right.
Some are not compatible, some of their system is not compatible with the card swipers that we have now. But, they would change those out with no cost. I don't remember what one of the banks said if there was gonna be a charge. And they are like
My two concerns with it, I'm just kind of interjecting here. I've kind of gone through a little bit of this. In my business, we've used Visa machines before, and from my standpoint, is the cost of the equipment. We just need to make sure what the cost of the equipment is that they're going to ask us to use, because they're kind of proprietary for each bank. At least was my experience. And then making sure that we're in compliance with whatever the compliance laws are regarding passing that cost on to the customer.
There
Those
are
are the
s-
only two concerns I have for it.
Yeah, there are some regulations and the bank walks us through all of that and helps us make sure that we're all set up and everything like that. But I could call, each one of the 4 banks that offer it and find out what, the hardware would be.
would the customer know when they checked in and they used their card, would they know immediately what kind of an additional charge they're gonna incur for using? That would
They
show
have
up
a
right
sign
on their
for it.
statement. It would be, because again, depending on the card they swipe, that's gonna vary. And so the software and the machine that we have is gonna automatically detect that rate and automatically bill that. That's
That
what
is
you
my
have.
understanding.
Okay,
That's my
excellent.
understanding.
If it's 2.59%, it's $100, it's $2.59.
But not all of them are 2.59.
I know, but that's all that's
Yeah.
all this bank is gonna get.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We
But
don't,
it'll determine which card, whether it's a Visa or American Express,
just like it
what
does
the
right
rate
now.
is.
When you swipe it,
Yeah.
it detects whatever card it is.
yeah, because I've got B of A cards, different rewards depending on which card I use.
They don't pay any interest.
But I'll find out some hardware costs from the
I
4
get
that offer
rewards
it
back.
and
Okay.
make sure I get it to you guys so you can look at too as you're considering which bank you think.
Well, I think we need to consider a program we're gonna get some resistance from the customers, but,
There's more and more businesses going to.
well, and the customers go out there, and I don't blame them. They go out there and they shop for a card that gives them the most rewards, and then they come in here and use it, and
We-
get
we
it,
pay
get
for it.
3, and we pay. Yeah, they write the check, and we have to cash it, and so I think it's something we need to look at.
Well, the whole thing about it is, excuse me for a minute, is we gotta do it by next meeting, and I'm not gonna sit here and read every one of these, I'll guarantee it.
Well, that's why I gave you a little summary of an evaluation.
No,
You're
I
kinda
know, I
covered.
understand that, and
Might-
that's a
might
good
help.
thing.
But you guys can do a summary and then make a recommendation to us, right?
I already did.
Yeah,
Okay,
I will send that to you.
I did find that email, it was just 148 pages, and I guess I didn't go
yeah,
through all of them.
yeah.
Nobody ever does, Craig.
I got a little overwhelmed.
no excuses.
Yeah, that's because of all the bank proposals in there, that's why.
So we have to make a decision by December.
At the December meeting, we need to make a decision so I can let the banks know. 'Cause
Okay,
they're
and
starting-
do you have a recommendation right now?
Well, I would, if you guys, it depends on kind of what you want to do with these merchant service fees.
I want
Because
to
if-
address them.
If you want to pass them on to the customer, Banner Bank doesn't do that right now. They don't have that system. They're trying to hopefully maybe in the first quarter of 2019, maybe?
So the rest of the match is, if we pick the bank that does do it, but the other features that they're offering and the other costs are not favorable, then it.
Pretty dang close. I mean, that's kind of been
Okay.
the evaluation.
Well, we gotta make.
Most of our
Okay, the main
fees-
thing is like Bill was saying, or Craig Z, is the hardware. If we're getting
Yes.
charged for the hardware, and then you go from there.
And it's usually just the card swiper,
Right.
and those are usually approximately $200. And we have
Oh, okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 machines right now.
So $1,000.
4 of them were actually 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4 are being used right now, but there's one that's not being used. So if that's something you really want to consider with these merchant service fees, you're gonna have to pick somebody beside, Banner. Most of the banks, in fact, all of the other ones, as long as you've got, say, $2,500 or more, or in the money market account, if you have more than 500,000, they waive fees. So we really don't have a monthly on our checking account. There's no monthly fee on the CMF, money market account. There's no monthly fee because we're above their limits, their minimum limits.
So we're looking at $20,000 to $25,000 per year recovery.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we were just wrestling with salaries and compensation,
there you
and that's
Substantial.
Nothing, it is nothing to sneeze at. So I think we.
Well, see, there's my ulterior motive for telling Terry if we take down the blue buildings, this will kind of replace those blue buildings.
And then,
I'm up
The
for
mo-
election in 2 years, and you can do what you want.
Hey, in June, I might not even be here
yeah,
after June.
don't even talk about it.
Anyway, that's all I have,
No.
something to think about,
Okay.
and then we
No,
just-
we definitely have to think about that because, I mean, that's one of the things I
Yeah.
realize we've been with Banner and they're great people. They do our financing and everything. I understand that.
But
They're
we
great
need
people.
we need the functionality.
But if they could say, well, we'll waive that fee, that's fine too. So, but I know they're not gonna do it because they're a bank.
They might do it till they get online with it,
That's,
and that's something that we need to talk to
you
them
know,
about.
we don't talk to Dee on that. She's the manager here, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
I mean, we don't wanna waste a lot of time of Kelly's time or, cause
no.
you
It's a
and I
simple
don't wanna
phone
walk
call.
in there and say, hey, you're gonna do this.
I will.
You can. You bank with them?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I bank with OB. So.
Yeah.
Real good. I think before the next meeting, I'd like to know the cost of the equipment, like Craig said, make sure there's no cost for the equipment, and replacement equipment. Some of them may give you the first one and charge you for the second, because they do go bad.
I'll find out the absolute cost for all the hardware and
I know.
send that to you in an email.
Good.
Okay. Craig Z, do you have any questions for her?
Nope.
Do you agree with that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Good answer.
Thank you.
We need a special meeting scheduled for sometime between December 3rd and 14th.
For Sydney.
Oh, number 10.
Don't go to sleep on it now. You
No,
just got a
no, I'm
raise.
not. I was waiting for Kelly to say something.
Well,
We have to schedule a meeting, is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, I'm not sure for what.
Yeah, I don't
She
either.
was gonna be here at the December
Sydney.
meeting to give us our audit report and to present that to you guys, but she has some conflicting things that she can't make it to the December meeting. And our audit report isn't available tonight, or she'd be here to present it tonight. So we need to do a special meeting sometime between like December 3rd and December 14th, that she can come down.
Oh, and she can make it.
Yeah, that she could come down and present the audit to you guys, and go over the audit like you do every year.
Okay.
She just can't make it to the December meeting, and it has to be done by, I believe, December 31st is the final.
Well,
I'm
but
leaving
anytime by phone.
town on the 14th, and the evening of the 14th, so, but until then, my calendar's open. So I can make any meeting on.
What'd you say, Craig?
I didn't say
I
nothing.
said,
Oh,
I'll
Z.
do it any time, but it'll have to be by phone.
Toward December, okay.
My opinion is whenever you schedule it, anytime is fine for me.
Let's make it the 5th.
You can remember that number.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
plead the
gonna be-
fifth.
Is that a Wednesday?
I drank the fifth.
What is the 5th? Is it?
It's a Wednesday, so it's the middle of the week, so everybody should be okay.
What time do you want it?
7 a.m.
5:36, something like that.
Early because it's dark.
Do 6 o'clock.
6
Or-
p.m. would be fine.
Yeah,
6 o'clock on
Yeah,
December
you guys
5th,
are working.
6.
6 p.m.
Kelly, will you
My
send out an
shop's
email
not-
with the, like the calendar event or something, or just a reminder?
I will do that, yes.
My only disclaimer is I won't be able to make it if I'm not in this country.
Okay.
You going to
I'm
Mexico?
serious.
That's fine.
That's all right.
Okay.
Just as long as you're enjoying yourself.
I know, I'm feeling guilty, can you tell?
Yeah, it's awful.
Can't believe, man. I don't know what you're doing in there, but you've been hanging out on the telephone, man. I'd been gone.
I'm sitting in the motel room waiting, we're 2 hours ahead of time, I gotta go eat.
What do you think we gotta do?
Yeah.
Yes.
I know, but it's, what is it, 10:30, what time is it there?
8
o'clock. I've been here since 3.
Yeah, I'm 10 hours, I'm 2 hours ahead.
Yeah, but you're gonna be up all night anyway, so.
Yep, Bourbon Street.
There you go. Manager and commissioner reports, number item 11. Manager, do you have anything to report?
Not really a whole lot. I just had met with Jack Aiken and Billiter Construction to kind of go over the site out there for C-Row, and there was something that was not on the actual bid, which was dressing up that area after they're done with 3/4 minus something. And so we kind of talked about that, the time frame, which, you know, we may be 2 to 3 weeks out still at this time. And hopefully we're gonna have those gates put in. I have a time frame for the dock gates. Our contractor has kind of assured me that they'll be in by the 3rd of December. And so that sets us up with a date for the electrician to be on the 4th and keypads actually being installed sometime after the 9th, and that'll be weather permitting with that. And as far as dredging goes, we're still moving forward with the dredging. We're almost to the point where we can put out an RFP. I don't have a sediment analysis back yet, and so that's kind of what we're waiting on. I'm hoping it all works out, which it should.
What's the plan for dredging? Are we gonna haul the spoils away, or are we gonna?
No, I've had the spoils area surveyed, and there turns out not to be as much material there as we once thought. And so there may be a day of excavation to rebuild the perimeter of that, and with the amount of dredging material we plan on taking out of the marina, it's gonna be more than adequate to hold it, so
Good.
it's gonna save us from having to actually move that material.
What do we call that? Mount Sayusla
Yeah.
at one time?
You know.
Benton's been happening.
So that's really all I have.
Is the blue building still rented?
We're gonna talk about that at our December meeting, and we'll kind of talk about the parking also.
Is it currently rented?
This blue building?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the other blue buildings. Yeah, it's currently rented still for another month.
For those guys that were just here.
Yes. Okay, yeah.
But
And
we got some
I've-
potential for,
I've inquired, talked to somebody else about possibly renting it, but nothing for sure right now. But at some point we could put it back.
On the market.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a shame to go a month or two without having it on the market.
We should start advertising for it.
What do we make out of that one? What they did say,
1,200,
1,200?
1,300 a month.
1,200.
Which we should consider probably raising that.
Yeah, at one point, we advertised it for 1,450, but I don't know that we ever got that for it.
Market might be different right now.
Yeah.
Well, real good. Bill, anything?
Made the Chamber of Commerce a monthly meeting. I updated them on our C-Row project. Told them that we're trying to get some gates in, that the gates would be closed at night. Something that might affect us in terms of our occupancy. They're struggling to keep the Rods and Roadies show that occurs in September. They're not going to do it this year, but they think they have a group that's going to take it over. So the Rods and Roadies show in September will continue on. Made the urban renewal meeting last night. Looks like the bids came in at an amount that falls within the budget and the contingency budget. So the Florence project there from 126 to the bridge, it looks like it's going to go forward starting this winter into the spring.
What project are you talking about?
The Revision Florence project, where they're redoing all of the curbs and the sidewalks and implementing some different crosswalk features, modifying they purchased a bunch of right-of-way from the landowners along 101, again from 126, that intersection.
To the new
126
crosswalk.
and their ODOT is going to be repaving that entire section, but as part of the repaving, they're also going to underground the utilities. There's going to be new light posts. There's going to be new landscaping. It's going to be a major revision of the look along 101 there.
They're not gonna put the roundy round in, are they?
No, roundabout, no, they don't even want that mentioned apparently.
They were gonna do that at
No,
one
no,
time.
that was up there on 9th Street, 9th and Kingwood. That's not even in the
Well,
area.
I got a question. I mean, it's nothing to do
It's
with
off
us.
topic, isn't it? No,
But
go ahead.
no, you know, they just put in this brand new crosswalk, so they're gonna go from the crosswalk to 120 to 101.
Well, no,
That's what I thought you were
126.
saying.
no.
Yeah.
No. The repaving and the revision Florence is from right at the 126. Well, this is on 101, from 126 to the bridge.
Oh, going
They're
south.
not on 126 towards.
Oh,
Yeah.
from the intersection right
Intersection.
there.
So it's on repaving 101.
Get rid of that little planter garden right
Well,
there.
there are lots of changes.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
Lots of changes.
I think they're coming all the way back to the new
No.
crosswalk. they
It's,
made right
it's
there.
about a $7 million project. The first bids
It's right at your
came in at
property.
million and a half high, and they went out to bid. They revised some things, and
I know.
so anyway, it's gonna happen.
When,
We just get done with the bridge and now we gotta put up with this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I did my best to irritate it. No. Yes, you're
one
gonna-
more thing, do any of you commissioners want to go to that SDAO conference in Sun River?
I do.
It's February 8th through the 10th.
I think
Yeah.
he lived right across the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he's got a
I'm gonna
house.
see if my house is open that weekend. Yes.
Oh yeah, maybe we can all go and stay in your house. For
House
nothing.
party at Bill's house.
Yeah.
What do you mean for nothing?
Well, we need to know because we have to sign up for it still. So if you're gonna.
No, Bill's gonna go on. No, I'm not interested in going
Yeah.
there. I lived all my
When
life
is
in
it?
cold weather.
It's the 8th through the 10th of February
Oh, in Sun
in
River.
Sun River.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
and,
rooms,
rooms
rooms
away
are
from
gonna probably be pretty limited at this point. We need to get on and.
I would like to go.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'll
Probably be
go
someplace
for
different.
And I need to book reservations right where the function is. Although I do
okay.
have a place out there. I'm sure that my kids are going to be using it.
So
We'll
I'll,
get you a room
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Are you gonna have a guest or your wife?
Yes.
No, she's in Antarctica.
so will I.
Yeah, she's gonna be back from Antarctica. So yes. So Peggy will be joining.
So it'll be you and I then.
Yeah. And Peggy.
Okay.
Kelly, do you have anything?
I'm done.
Craig Z, you
Craig, are
good?
you there?
Yep, I'm here. I have nothing.
You gonna go to the SDAO conference in Bend?
Bend,
No.
Or Sun
No, I
River?
hear nothing.
Sun River,
Yeah.
no.
Okay.
Hear nothing.
We'll bring
speak
you a
nothing.
good report.
With that being said, keep in mind, we do have a meeting on December 5th at 6 o'clock. I'm gonna close this public meeting. It is closed. Thank you.
Thanks.
Hey, you guys, have a wonderful
See you, man.
Thanksgiving, okay?
You
Hey,
too,
thanks,
Craig. Hey, good comments tonight.
No.